All right, lads, I'm Dara Curran, aka the Ginness Guru, and this is Only Cans, the show that's all about drinking. From mad stories to hangover cures, I share a few cans with a special guest as we dissect their drinking career. Welcome to episode 14. A dose of Only Cans, that's your only man. So sit back, relax, that's the only plan. Grab yourself a Ginness or Peroni, man. Welcome to the show. This is Only Cans. Cheers. Flowers are blooming. The grass is growing. And it's time to chop the weeds. Thanks to our sponsor, Manscaped, you can trim your holes safely and efficiently. I am talking about ball trimmers. Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming, have an exclusive offer for our audience. Use code CANS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. CANS20, support your boy. What an ad read. They surely be happy with that now. Not that they aren't happy before. I don't think they're even clued in. They're not even listening, so I could probably say anything. But CANS20, you do genuinely support the pod. You support me if you use that. It helps me out a lot. Bit of ching ching, commish, bit of commish. Join the other 2 million men who trusted Manscaped. They are here to make sure you are trimmed and smelling nice. After all, it's time for some spring cleaning. Very good, Manscaped. 6.5 out of 10. But yeah, lads, make sure you get onto manscaped.com, cans20 for the code. Get yourself a weed whacker. You can trim those fucking rotten hairs in your nose, in your ears, in your arse, wherever you want. You know the drill. It's waterproof. It's got the LED light. And my personal favorite thing is the crop preserver that you can shave your arsehole, you can shave your balls, and usually you just have to accept you're going to have a few days of chafing. Nah, crop preserver, lash it on to fuck. No chafage. I guarantee you. I fucking guarantee that. Yeah, so this week, lads, my guests are Fionnuala and Bríd from the Bandwagons podcast. Very popular podcast. I'll be honest, it's tricky trying to get a very much a male audience, and it is tricky trying to get women on because I don't really interact with a lot of female content creators when you're making content about Ginness. So I'm just trying to reach out, trying to spread the love, and I do it. Like, luckily, I kind of know these girls already, so it's not just like, "How are you? Will you come on me?" Like there's a bit of foundation laid already, so it's all good. But yeah, two very funny girls with a very popular podcast. I'll introduce them properly when I bring them on. And lads, make sure you get over to gurumerch.com, get a hoodie, get a t-shirt. If you want a hoodie, I wouldn't say they'll be there for much longer. I'm going to get a few new t-shirts up, and I'll probably take the hoodies off for summer. So if you want a hoodie, get it bloody now. I now welcome onto Only Cans two of the biggest names on the Irish podcast scene. They met in college, and after realizing how much shite they talk to each other, decided to start the Bandwagons podcast in late 2018. They describe it as talking about things that other people are talking about. Very catchy. 2 years and 1 million downloads later, they're now rubbing shoulders with the big dogs in the podcast charts. It is my pleasure to introduce these two wagons, Bríd Brown and Fionnuala Jones. All right, girls.
Oh my God, that's the best intro we've ever had.
We're going to have to bring you everywhere, Mr. Guru, just to
what you think of
chat
that?
about us like that. My head is swelling.
Out of 10 on the intro scale.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
I'd say 10. I thought you were talking about Tommy and Hector, to be honest, until we got to the end of it. I was like, oh, he's talking about us. Great.
I threw a slight dig in at your, because I know you said it before, Bríd, on a different podcast about the talking about things that people are talking about. You were like, I hate it, but it's just how it is.
Yeah, it was a throwaway joke at the start. We were like, what if, like, when people ask you what your podcast is about, what if we just say we're just talking about things that other people are talking about? And it was like ironic at the start, but now people are running with it, and I hate it. But
listen, the one thing I will say is there are so many podcasts that are like that, but are too precious to admit that that's essentially what they are. And you know what? I embrace it. We are talking about the things that other people are talking about. So
I'm so glad I took it off the artwork, though. It was on the artwork at the start. I'm delighted we took it off.
When I messaged originally, it was, see, you know yourself, well,
look, you don't get that many guests on. Mine is always guests, so I'm fucking flat out just trying to get guests. But it's a lot easier when you contact them and they give you the reaction that I think it was Fionnuala was like, "Oh my God, love your TikToks, blah, blah, blah." And you're like, right, I'm in.
I was very excited. I was like, Bríd, we have to do this. This is going to be
I just saw Ginness. I was like, yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, so first of all, I was going to say, in terms, like, we better talk about Ginness first. Bríd is actually swamping a big, lovely pint of Ginness there. Fionnuala's on the tea.
My personalised glass.
From the storehouse.
I'm on the...
Yeah.
You're on the what, Fionnuala? The tea?
I'm on the tea. I'm on medication, not to use that excuse, but like we were actively talking about this and I was like, oh yeah, I'll get something. And then my brain's decided to stop producing enough serotonin. So I had to go on medication. So I'm off the drink for the foreseeable.
Lads, I'm on antibiotics tonight. I can't drink.
Her nerves are
her nerves are gone. I had a lovely takeaway pint from the halfway house 2 weeks ago though. I do like Ginness, but I would say Bríd likes it more and has drank it for longer.
Yeah.
I think.
Actually, our producer Shane really got us into Ginness. I feel like we have to blame him because we drank with him a lot in the last 2 years and it's always Ginness when Shane's around.
Blame him or thank him?
Thank him actually, because he got us into drinking Ginness and knowing the difference between a good and a bad Ginness.
Good man, Shane. Right, girls. Yeah. So you've met in college. Do you remember your first session together? I presume it was in college.
We met.
Do we want to? Yeah, but do we want to talk about that or like our first proper night out? Because like we didn't really get on the first time we met, or like we didn't have that like eureka moment when we met.
Right.
Well, I don't remember our first night out.
First fucking night out as pals then.
As pals. But was that not the night we took the group photo of us in front of Trinity with our middle fingers up? Where were we going that night?
I think we went to Palace or somewhere really scaldy.
Of course.
What? And were we? No, I can't remember. Like generally we had a lot of nights out that kind of blur into one with our group of friends.
As in the
Camden.
The Camden,
yeah.
The old Palace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd many a night there, or I was a bit scaldy.
Sorry, the music used to be incredible. The male clientele, like, Dara, no offense, but like not good. Very creepy. Amazing smoking area. I love to ramble there myself.
I'd say me and the lads back in the day probably were a bit creepy, all right. And smoking area, very good. Massive.
Actually,
like unparalleled, probably in the top 10 in Dublin, and I would be willing to have a fight with someone about that.
I actually rooted out one of my old laptops a couple of weeks ago when I was at home, and I have no memory of this, Fionnuala, maybe you do, but I found a slideshow of like Snapchat videos of all of us getting the shift in nightclubs with like funny music playing over it. Like sometimes they were worse than shifting, and it was like everyone.
What do you mean? Sometimes they were worse than shifting.
Define worse than shifting there, Bríd.
Oh, like I don't know, like a cheeky, but it was like all nightclub based, like
dropping the hand, feeding the pony.
A cheeky blank.
Cheeky groping, let's say. I won't go any further than that. I have no memory of it, and it's me and Fionnuala and maybe 2 or 3 of our other gal friends, where we obviously it was a thing where we used to video each other whenever we got the shift, and I decided it would be really funny to make a slideshow of it. Thankfully it never went anywhere.
A serious groping. That sounds
heavy.
That sounds like the Palace, all right, in a nutshell. With a heavy petting.
Yeah, that is like Palace defined.
So first big night together was Palace, bit of heavy petting.
Pretty much, and like I think because didn't Palace have the best deals on the Jaeger bombs? It was like 4 for a tenner.
Yeah, no, you.
I remember that,
and like them all lined up on the back, nice warm Jaeger bombs. You'd be like, oh yeah, lovely. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, and like the middle dance floor, like you could get anything. You'd get like the charts, and then I feel like they played like a song from The Lion King or like High School Musical at one stage. And I remember everyone being like, "This is really fucking weird, but I'm also loving it because I'm really drunk and this is amazing." Insane.
I remember that. Sorry, go on, Bríd.
No, I was just gonna say after we were obsessed with the chicken fillet rolls on Grafton Street as well, and it was like a ritual where we'd go get a chicken fillet roll for €2 or something.
€2.
Take a picture, sticking up the middle finger to Trinity, and then go home. That was like how we always ended the night for a few months.
Did you just go to Trinity? No,
we went to DCU. That's why we thought it was really funny to like do
Very
big F you
cool.
to Trinity.
Very funny and
So
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
So cool.
I don't know if you know this, but we were mega legends.
Yeah.
And maybe still are. That's up for debate, but
And who would have to carry the other home more often?
I would say I'm the messier. Just because I drink more frequently, maybe.
Right.
I've actually never seen Fionnuala that drunk. She has really bad hangovers, but I've never seen her as a very like bad.
She's not
bad
messy.
drunk.
that's so strange. I would have thought I would say that you are messier, but I would have said I was messy as well.
I don't know. Like
Do you know, I think of some of like the college balls and stuff. I used to get like you got me drinking wine, and that cheap Tesco wine.
€4, yeah.
was
St. John.
The downfall of. I doubt I was the only one after, like, but it was like that ruined me for a while. But I probably because you're a bit of a devil for drinking a lot and mixing drinks, which I think is your issue.
No, I can hold it pretty well, but like I would just say
You can hold it better
feels
now.
like an intervention. I think
yeah, I'm like, no, shut up, I'm fine.
I can hold it. Fuck off, Fionnuala.
I would say though, I've had probably like neither of us are very like bad drunks. We're pretty good crack when we're out and we're drunk. But I would say just by a margin, I have had like probably worse nights.
I think my worst nights, I just actually haven't been with you. Or
you've just gone home. Fionnuala will.
Or I've just gone home. Yeah.
We'll pack up and go home and say nothing. I'll stay out till the bitter end.
I'd be like that now. Only now, not in the old days, obviously, but I'd be a hooer for packing up. Good luck. I'm going to the toilet, lads.
The Irish goodbye.
The Irish goodbye. You don't see me for a week.
Oh, I'm like, it's a running joke with my friends at home as well that it's like, strike a midnight Cinderella. I'm like, but like I won't say anything, and people be like, "Where'd Fionnuala go?" And I'm like, "Oh, just asleep in my bed." I can't be bothered. I think the thing is because I can't be bothered meeting all these people and saying goodbye to them and them trying to convince you to stay out. I'm just like, I need to eliminate all of that and just remove myself from the situation, invisibility cloak, Harry Potter style. Goodbye, God bless.
And you're definitely Wexford, Fionnuala, are you?
No, I'm Cork.
Cork.
I'm Wexford.
Yes!
I'm Wexford. She gets it from me.
Fuck.
I pick up her accent. My dad says the same. Anytime I speak to my dad, he's like, "You have a terrible Wexford accent on you."
Jesus.
I was recently scouted for a role because they thought I was for a voiceover role because they thought I was from Wexford and they wanted me to audition for the Wexford and the Cork role. I was like
they thought I was from Wexford. That's how they talk. How are you getting that from Cork?
I'm such a parrot. I think even we have a lot of friends from Donegal as well. And like anytime I was around with like my Donegal friends, my dad would be the same as well. He'd be like, why are you talking like that? It's really, really strange.
We were really bad for going around like no bother in college.
Yeah,
we garlics.
It's as if you've sucked the Wexford out of Bríd and taken it into yourself. Bríd just has a neutral.
She just has a lovely lilt.
Yeah.
I also haven't been home since Christmas. I need to go home and like rub it all over me again, and I'll be full Cork again.
And how long are you up here? The 2 years since college.
Since college, 7 years.
7 years.
And don't say that, insane. At the time.
So what are you then like? Is it rude to? It's not rude to ask someone, a girl their age, if they're like not old, is it?
No, I don't take offense. I'm 26. Fionnuala's 25.
I'm 25.
Solid.
Yeah.
Come here to me now. You were saying Fionnuala gets much worse hangovers. Fionnuala, have you put together in your 25 years much of a hangover cure, or do you just die of death?
So I haven't found like the one thing that cures me, but it's usually like very, very cold beverages. So like ice water or like an ice cold can of Coke Zero or like orange squash with ice usually helps. But in terms of food, I love boiled rice and prawn crackers.
Okay.
And that's it. I swear to God, I have been on so many soapboxes preaching about the comfort of boiled rice and prawn crackers and how much it just brings me back to life. And people are like, I hate you, you sick bitch. No sauce.
Please don't tell me you've actually gotten a Chinese and just gotten boiled rice and prawn crackers.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a hangover food, I don't think that's too bad because sometimes your tummy wouldn't be able for the sauce.
No, like
and like I tip the drivers because like they're going out with like 2 things. Like I feel bad, like I do tip them, but
that's also Fionnuala's end of night Chinese takeaway as well. Like when you want the messiest, biggest like munch box, Fionnuala will still get.
I would definitely
crackers.
be like agree that it would in terms of if you don't want your stomach to be all fucked up, but like just the thought of actually ordering a Chinese and just. Like, would they second guess you, or is it like, oh, this is your one, the Cork fucking AKA Wexford one ringing us up again?
I've never been questioned on it, like by the actual like restaurants themselves. But my friends are always like, what the hell? And like sometimes I can't make the full order, so like I have to ask other people what they want, or like order just loads of
3 cans of Coke.
Or get like extra prawn crackers or extra boiled rice, depending on how bad I am. Because sometimes you might have like not enough rice or not enough prawn crackers, and like I like to use prawn crackers as a vehicle for the rice.
Yeah, fair.
So like you don't just want like one of them left over because
I've also
like half portion of rice looking at you.
I've also never like heard of anyone ordering a Chinese and actually ordering the prawn crackers. You usually just get them with it, but you actually
I love prawn crackers. Like
I couldn't tell you how much a bag of prawn crackers cost. They probably don't even have a price on it.
They're too expensive. Like people talk about the rate of inflation with Freddos. We need to be looking at the prawn crackers because that's a scam, like such a scam.
And Bríd, hangover, right? You wake up, I don't know, God knows what time. And I usually ask this in a sense of like, it's all well and good if you have the next like couple of days off. You go out Friday night, you're not in work till Monday or something like that. That's fine. You just sit on the couch, bollocks. But let's say you wake up 9 or 10 o'clock, you have to be somewhere semi-important that like 4 or 5. What's the game plan?
I am a big advocate for coffee in any circumstance. Coffee will always like fix or hide a multitude. Coffee, ice cold orange juice, like a liter of that if you actually have to go somewhere because the sugar will just like really get you going.
Yeah.
And then like as many sausage rolls as the deli will sell you, or jambons.
I fucking love a jambon.
Yeah, you can't beat them. Like baby jambons. I love a baby jambon.
Oh yeah, the baby jambon. Oh my, downstairs.
Yeah.
And have you ever been? It's probably going to be a straight no, but have you ever been hungover recording Bandwagons?
Yes,
like,
definitely have.
Absolutely. This week, I was honestly, I had to go. Like,
but hold on. Yeah, I didn't really think of it with doing it over Zoom because obviously, like you're just in the gaff. But you used before, and I presume after all this, do you do it in is it the Collaborative Studios? Is that in town or where is that?
Yeah, it's on Dame Street.
And would you be going in there with a head in you?
I'm trying to think. We definitely have, but I'm trying to think of specific examples. There was one time we had to go to. We said we go to a distillery to do like kind of. It was like a gifted tour. Yeah. And
after my birthday.
And it was Bríd's birthday. It was like kind of during when the first lockdown restrictions had relaxed during the summer.
Gifted tour, and like reached out job, and you just go and do it.
Yeah, and they were like, "Will you come?" And we were like, "Yeah, absolutely." Like, because like
it was whiskey tasting.
Like our whiskey as well. It was whiskey tasting.
I think I did that.
We won't say where. Yeah, and oh my god, it was.
We had to just keep passing. We had to keep like pretending we were sipping them and then passing them to Shane.
The worst thing, whiskey.
Absolutely, the absolute worst thing.
Oh my!
And then we went at one point. I think I had to go and like I had to sip at one point, and I was just like, this isn't staying down. Like I was.
We won't name the place.
So bad.
But are you brought into a kind of small enough room, and there's like a kind of half semi-circle-y bar.
Yeah.
And then you get the little wooden plate thing with the little shots in it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure most people probably know where it is. But
I'm trying to think of any others.
But were you saying you had to stop recording last week or before?
Oh, like even just this week on, I can't remember. We were recorded and that was fine. But when me and Fionnuala were supposed to have a meeting about something after, and I was like, I'm actually just gonna have to go. Like my brain will not function right now, and it's great because like it's Fionnuala and it's not like it's not like a coworker. I can be like, listen, like, I'm actually dying today and I didn't sleep last night, so I can't talk to you later.
Would you bicker much at all, or like what's the sort of dynamic? Obviously mates, but like it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're getting better.
We are getting better. We obviously do bicker. Like, I think anyone would, when you're as good friends as we are and work as closely as we do. Like we did an episode earlier talking about kind of manifesting and stuff, and Bríd said she'd always seen like the podcast being like this big success that it is. I'm not sure if I knew we were going to do well, but I think like I'm so proud of what we've achieved. But in terms of it actually becoming a business, I think that kind of crept up on me and surprised me. And you do have to kind of like remember that, okay, yes, you work together, and I can be a bit of a hard ass to Bríd about that kind of stuff. But like at the end of the day, like she's my friend first before we were podcasting partners or like business partners, whatever you want to say. So
you can be a hard ass.
Like even if we disagree.
Like Bríd is a bit more easygoing. You're like, come on, the fuck. Or not.
Well, I think we're both hard asses in different ways. Fionnuala's more like, I don't know. We're both very hard on each other, I think.
That's
yeah,
good.
I think sometimes we can have different visions for what sometimes I take the podcast very, very seriously, and sometimes Bríd wants to have more of a loose approach. And I think sometimes we can clash heads over that. And then other times,
like say, even like myself, I have stuff written in front of me, but some weeks it's like nearly word for word, and then some weeks it's a bit more casual. The likes of yourselves, I knew, and we just shite away. I have a few things written down, but like, would one of you be like, no, it needs to be more like we have to know exactly what we're talking about, and the other is like, we'll just go with the flow.
Yeah, it was definitely harder at the start because like I was like really, really into podcasts. So I kind of had it in my head, like what a podcast should sound like and what like the different segments and stuff. Whereas Fionnuala, I think, had more of like a radio show kind of in mind. And we were kind of trying to mesh it and meet somewhere in the middle. And it just relaxed and you kind of just fall into what makes sense afterwards. But, and like, it'll just play out. And if you force it too much, I feel like it doesn't work. So
I rarely have ladies on the podcast, so I'm going to try to take full advantage and get some tips and tricks for my probably 95% of my demographic lads listening. So if just general like guys' behavior in bars and stuff like that, if a guy sees you in a bar, not you specifically, but just general advice, guy sees a girl in the bar, wants to approach her, it's a bit of a weird world we're living in. Obviously this is post-pandemic, weird world we're living in, where you kind of hear that some girls nearly now prefer the whole Tinder, Bumble, all that sort of shite, where the kind of bar scene can be a bit intimidating. But basically, a guy wants to go up to a girl without seeming like a creep. Any advice? What should he be doing? What shouldn't he be doing?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I heard somewhere, maybe it was Tony Cantwell did an episode when he a couple of weeks ago, he did like tips for guys and tips for girls, and I think one of them was like, just walk up to someone that you think is good looking and be like, settle a debate. Would you settle a debate for me? Like, and then like come out with some like thing from a movie or settle a debate.
Great idea.
Can you settle a debate who will win, like Kong or Godzilla? And then if they're into you at all, they'll entertain whatever you're saying. And if they're not, they'll be like, ha, and they'll kind of brush you off. But it's you've kind of lost nothing then, because like if that's their in, if they want to talk to you, and if they don't,
it's kind of like a pickup line, but not like a cheesy pickup line.
It's not creepy,
it's a bit, but it's not like
it's
a pickup line. Yeah. Fionnuala, what's your advice?
I don't know. I think that's pretty strong. Like what Bríd said. Like I would love a good joke as well. Like a good joke. Like if you can get me in with one of them.
Like surely, I don't know, not to sound shallow, but like if some absolute weirdo comes up to you and tells you a joke, or some
I suppose it goes back to that point. Yeah, like, well, I suppose that's the thing. Like, if you see someone who you're not into approaching you, I'm just like, right, I'm going to the bathrooms, or like, I'm immediately moving away from this person.
Yeah.
But like, you can't. I just think if you've had enough beverages, I'm usually willing to give more people time once I've had a few drinks on me as well. So I like
think the key is like if you just give someone an opening to be interested in you, and then read the signs and react accordingly. Like if they're not really giving you much, just like go thank you and walk away.
Yeah, I think that's more, I think knowing when to back down is actually more important than knowing when to go over. Like I would just be like, go over, try, the worst they'll be like is they'll either be really direct and be like, fuck off, or you'll get the vibe. And then just like move on, get a drink, find another gal or person or whatever. It's fine. No biggie.
And what about like approaching sort of, there's a group of girls and there's one you kind of have your eye on. This sounds very much like I'm trying to get tips for myself. It's not, lads. But,
shout out Katia, we love you.
There you go. Group of girls, guy likes one of them. Do you think it's a bit kind of weird going up to a group, or like would you go up to the group? Like it could be unreal or it could be absolutely shocking. You go up to the group and you say the whole, settle this for me. But would you think any differently? It's not as if you're going to be standing by yourself the whole time, but like, you know, lads approaching girls in groups, is it weird?
I think a wingman couldn't hurt in that situation.
Yeah, like don't go up by yourself.
I feel like even if you're like the fittest lad in the world and you come up to the group are going to be like, right, well, you just want any one of us. Like you're just going to see who'll bite here. But if you can like, but then you don't want to like kind of pull her away from her friends either, because that's a bit like predatory. I don't know. Yeah. That's actually really tough.
Yeah.
I think if you have a couple of lads that could go at you.
You definitely need at least one, I think, because even then you can get him in on the debate so that it doesn't seem like you're in full stealth mode trying to pull.
Yeah.
Even though you are, but like it's kind of like deception. Yeah, I do think you need like one other guy, but otherwise, I mean, a brave man approaching any like group of girls, like I would have to admire that, but in reality, I don't think I'd give them the time of day at all.
Yeah, like
if you wait till she goes to the bar and go up beside her.
That kind of sounds proper predatory to me, though. Wait till she goes to the bar and pounce.
Or just kind of like wait till she's not like in a circle of girls.
Yeah, and then bumped into you at the bar. That's mad, actually.
Yeah, I feel like people are willing to entertain anyone at the bar as well while they're waiting, because you just have to.
And then let's just say it's I don't know if success is the right word, but he gets the girl, blah blah, they go have a lovely night together. Morning after, etiquette, stay for breakfast or get the fuck out of there.
I personally love when they leave, but that's it. Even if I'm really into it, I'm kind of like, I would just love to go about my day now. But I don't know. I feel like maybe you could like test the waters and see if they want to go for a walk for a coffee or something. And then if not, I personally love when they leave.
I think like it's much. You're always better to
leave them wanting more.
Yeah, like even if they don't want more, it's always easier to possibly leave them wanting more than if there's an ounce of them being like, this chap gonna fuck off, then you're screwed. Yeah.
If she says she's getting in the shower, that's your time to go. Or she's getting up and getting dressed, like that's your hint.
Yeah, true. So I was gonna just say, like, then would you have like one do and one don't in terms of general pub etiquette, but does anything come to mind?
Don't grope. Groping is actually still a very big epidemic.
Please stop groping us, please.
Keep your hands off until you know for sure. I feel
even if we're dancing, like it's not an invitation.
What would you define as grope? Because obviously it's all a laugh, but like there has been a lot of stuff going on lately with men just being fucking weirdos, to put it lightly. So like, yeah, like dance floor sort of, and especially because lads are going to forget how to behave. They haven't been around a fucking woman and it'll be probably nearly 2 years next time they're in a nightclub. So like, what is acceptable and what's not? Like if you're with a girl on the dance floor, like, I don't know, like you can't just be feeling up their hips and stuff. So how
you do not need to put your hands on their hips to move past them or
their lower back.
Like,
just
don't. You
don't do it.
Really don't.
That is the worst, is when someone's not even trying to talk to you. They're like going to the bathroom or something and they have their hand somewhere around you or your back just to get by you. I'm like, please, just everyone keep your hands in the air until.
And so dance floor etiquette, it'd be like, wait for us to, like, if we lock eyes and then
she'll give you the eyes. She will literally, like, it's cliche. You will get the eyes, then you move her, and then you should probably follow her lead.
Because the amount of times you see like on the dance floor, and it'll just be a girl will be standing there dancing away, and the friends will be around, and then a guy out of nowhere is just behind, the hands on the hips, and he hasn't even seen her eyes, and he just thinks he's like in, and he can see the girl is just looking at her friends doing that what the fuck is going on kind of look, and they're kind of having a laugh about it, but like you can tell she's just like, what is this like that lads? It's just fucking gas.
It's all about signals. Like, you just please read the signals. They're there.
Yeah, I think we are just males in general. We're terrible at reading signals. It's because it's like that.
Yeah,
go on.
Most don't mean any harm.
No, but like you go up to a girl, like unless you're absolutely fucked out of it, like you're gonna know if she's into you or not. And then the amount of times you see a lad and he's just shiting into this, burning this girl's ear off, and she just has absolutely no in, and she's giving the friends the whole, what's the crack with this lad? And the lad just thinks he's totally in, and then she disappears, and he's like, what the fuck? I thought I was in, lads.
Yeah, and if people are too drunk as well, just you're better off leaving it off. I feel like, you know, it might seem like a bit easier to talk to someone who's a bit drunker, but
yeah,
you're always safer staying away.
Switching topics, do you remember your first or your best sort of drinking trip you ever went on?
We have a little tradition of going to European cities and doing the worst rated pub crawl in that city.
Yeah, we do love that.
Tell me more immediately.
So where did we start?
Brussels, yeah.
Yeah, so Bríd got me a trip to Brussels for one of my birthdays many moons ago, and we did a pub crawl there. And like, I don't think we really enjoyed Brussels overall as the place, but the pub crawl was good crack. Like, had you booked that? Where did I'm struggling to remember the details.
Where did the idea come to go to the worst pub crawl?
We were like, I think actually in Brussels there might only be one, and it was rated. I booked it, and then we read the reviews on Facebook, and the reviews were so bad that we were like, this could actually be so funny. So we did it, and we had a really good laugh, and it was like a Tuesday in Brussels. We met this Australian guy. We met like a couple of other people. There was like probably only 8 of us on it. Like it was great crack.
It was a really small crew. Like, I think we were the only kind of like friends and like girls of that age. And it was just like, went to the absolute strangest like dive bars. We were taking as much drink as we could get. And we just fully made the most of it. And we ended up in like a shisha bar with that Australian guy. And I remember having like this moment, like this epiphany at the end of the night, being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I here? And how has this happened?
There was a lot of other girls actually in that shisha bar with us. We were in like this little cubby. That's actually.
Oh, they were on a hen or something, weren't they? French girls, yeah.
Oh my god, that's just like proper woken meal.
And what other trips or what other cities have you gone to on the? So do you just go somewhere now and you just go, right, let's look up the TripAdvisor for pub crawls and just scroll to the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where else did we do? We did Paris and we did
Amsterdam.
I think Paris was the best one because we made friends with this old American couple on it. We still have photos with them. They're so cute. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but like we were getting these like luminous colored shots like on the plates, like and you with these two like above middle-aged like
grandparents,
deep south grandparents. And we were like, oh my God, we love you. Like Mick and Carol. They weren't not real names.
No, it was like Bill and Judy or something.
Yeah. Oh,
they were like, if anyone gives you hassle, you tell them you're with your grandparents. And we were like, thank you so much, Bill.
And we ended like there was a nightclub at the end of that, wasn't there? And like they'd gone at that point, and we just have so many videos of us like head banging and head rolling on the dance floor.
Wasn't it?
It was a gay bar. Yeah.
No, that was Amsterdam.
Was it Amsterdam?
One of them we looked around and we were like, there are only men, like gay men in this bar. And we were like, it just like leveled up from there. We had the best night ever.
And what would you say in terms of how does a pub crawl, you'd wonder, how does a pub crawl get a bad rating? Like just because the shitholes it was bringing you to?
Yeah, I think the one in Brussels, your man was friends. He like brought us to like all the pubs his friends owned, but there was like no one else in them. And they were like,
they were all dead.
Like it was walked in the door.
It was when you compare to even Paris and Amsterdam, which like weren't like incredible. Like we had a laugh, but I think that was because we were together and we had other company or whatever. We made our own fun. But like when you compare them, like it makes Brussels look like I don't know what. Like it was just like a death march. Like it was so strange.
Yeah, it was organized fun. Like it's so hard to do organized fun on a Tuesday night with a group of strangers.
So if anyone wants to go to probably the worst pub crawl in the world, head to Brussels.
Yeah, I'll give you the link. I'll give you a referral code or something.
Discount code Bandwagons, 10% off. Can you, obviously, we're hopefully on the fucking good side of all this baloney. Can you describe to me your ideal first day back when the pubs/clubs open?
I just want to be sweat on, to be honest. I want to be in like a room. I want to be in a room full of people breathing on me, sweating on me, dancing on me, and just like having a dance and a sing song. I want to hear Dua Lipa in a nightclub. And I hated nightclubs before this.
I want to be the same. I want to be really annoying. I want to be belligerent in a taxi on the way into town. Like I want to be like, can I put on a song? Have you been busy tonight? That's what I miss. I'd like a good like pre-night out, like you're in your mate's garden, like you've a few bottles of Corona or something, like really like pure sunshine drink. Oh my God, Corona triggered. Or like some kind of cocktail, whatever. And like, you're like trying to be like you're drinking for like ages. And then by the time you're heading out, like you are like really on the way out. And then you get your second wind, you go outside, like the wind hits you or the temperature change hits you, you have your jacket on. And same as Bríd said, like you're somewhere really crowded. And I would have been the same. Like I was starting to hate nightclubs as I approached my quarter life crisis. But now I'm just like, give them all to me. Like I need them. When we go back, I need the legislation to change that they're open until 6 a.m. because it's what we deserve at this point.
So the hangovers will be lovely after that, 6 a.m.
I don't even want to think about it. Like you can't get hangovers if you just keep going, you know?
Very true. But it's gas because like you see the memes or whatever, and it's like, I just want to be fucking in a nightclub and then really dying hungover. I just want to be that. And then like 6 months goes by and you probably haven't had a hangover, and then you get the hangover and you're like, actually no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I had one, and I think in lockdown they're worse. I don't know how, but there is something about drinking at home. Like I had one kind of early on, and we just moved house, I think. And I'd had like, I didn't think it was that heavy a night. And I woke up and I was like, okay, I know this hangover is bad, whatever, it'll be fine. Like I'll get a bit sick, whatever, it'll be fine, grand, absolutely fine. But I had like interviews during the day for a piece that I was writing. Right. And like in the middle of the interview, I could feel myself that I was going to get sick, and I was in my bed, and your one was like chatting away, and I was like, oh, what have I done here? I had like a cold face cloth on my head. I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna have to hang up and pretend the line cut out and get sick and call her back. Holy, and that's exactly what I did. And it was the worst day of my entire life.
Actually making me a bit crazy.
It was so bad. Oh my God.
Drinking the drinking at home, because we kind of tell ourselves like I was only at home, like, sure, Jesus, I wasn't on a mad one all night or anything, where you could have been up, you could have been up till 5 o'clock and you could have had about fucking 20 drinks, and then you wake up, you're like, how is this possible? And you're like, it's kind of like, I'm this hungover and I didn't even have a proper night. I was just in my house with a couple of people. This is a load of bollocks. So you're nearly like, it's not even justified how hungover you are.
It's a scam. It's such a scam.
Quick fire to finish off the pod. Obviously there's two of you, so it's not just gonna have you so Bríd answer first, Fionnuala answer second. Okay?
Yeah.
Favorite pub?
Oh, I loved the Mercantile and now it's gone. That's sad, isn't it?
R.I.P. the Mercantile. I loved the Autobahn when I lived near there.
Bacon fries or scampi fries?
Scampi.
Bacon fries?
I'm scampi. I'm team scampi.
Oh no, sorry.
Worst bread, but they taste better.
Yeah.
You can only drink one alcoholic drink for the rest of your life. What is it?
I actually genuinely, I'm not just saying that. I think Guinness, because it's like, to me.
Oh, Gertl.
Probably vodka and Coke.
Are you much of a wino, no?
No, not a wine gal. And I kind of go between my spirits, but like if I was to think of like a drink that would do me, I'm thinking like all seasons, vodka Coke. It's fine. Like it'll do you.
Guinness in the sun.
Yeah, that's the hard.
You could drink Guinness in the sun, but like if it's the only thing you can drink, like
you'd be thinking like if you skipped a dinner, you could have a Guinness, you'd be fine.
Exactly.
Like, it would like fill a hole a lot of times.
It's for breakfast. Let's get deep. Favorite thing about your co-host?
I like I don't know like there's no word for this, but Fionnuala is like an encyclopedia of funny things and pop culture things, and I was only saying this to someone the other day, like she's just so impressive, the stuff she can remember from like the early 90s.
I think I heard you saying that before.
TV and music.
Yeah,
it's so impressive. It's never like her conversations are never boring.
Fionnuala.
She's
struggling. Is one of the funniest people I know and always knows how to have fun and bring the fun out in me.
Least favorite thing about your co-host?
I'm just like a very organized person, and Fionnuala sometimes is not as organized, and it's more of a reflection on how much of an OCD person I am. But yeah, sometimes we're just not as organized as each other.
Is
it just the opposite for you then, Fionnuala? She's too organized.
Well, no, I was going to say, but and she is better. She's getting better. Bríd's not a big sharer, and I am. No. Like Bríd doesn't really like sharing things.
I like my things in their place and in my room.
Whereas I'm like, spread the wealth. Here's my food. Here's my drink. Take the clothes off my back. And Bríd is like, if you touch any of my belongings, I will kill you.
That's true.
I thought you meant like, I thought you were going super deep. Like she doesn't share like her emotions or something. I was like, oh Jesus.
No, we're both really bad for that.
We're both too open, I think.
I can imagine, especially with each other. Last question to end the pod. Fill in the blank. I asked this to everyone. Fill in the blank. I am a blank drunk.
I'm a funny drunk.
Oh, I am a loud drunk.
Funny and loud pair of wagons. Right, girls. It's been an absolute pleasure. Follow the Bandwagons on Instagram. Follow the two girls. Actually, don't follow Fionnuala. She has no followers. Follow Bríd.
Yes, please.
He's right. There's too many of you.
Yeah, just actually go and unfollow Fionnuala. Go listen to Bandwagons wherever you get your podcasts. It's been an absolute pleasure, girls. And look, hopefully, like I say to every guest, we had the crack. There's only so much crack you can have over Zoom. Hopefully we can do it again in person with a few pints of Guinness, and Fionnuala, you can drink tea.
I will do that. I cannot wait. Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thanks for listening, lads. All the best.
And there you have it, lads. Thanks for listening to the pod. Big shout out to Bríd and Fionnuala, two absolute wagons, sound fucking gas girlos. We'll see you again next week, lads. Sláinte. Yeah, pints.